We begin a new era here today, and that involves going back to an old era as we go back to one of my former Unemployed to Legend clubs, Norwich City. As this is part one of a new club, can I just ask that you hit the like button down below, and let's see if we can get this video off to a flyer, much like today's episode, hopefully. Hello and welcome to episode 1, Club 3 here in Unemployed to Legend with Norwich City. My name is Craig and come up in today's episode the first two games of our time here at Norwich as we take on Chelsea and Leicester City in a test to see just where we stand with Norwich City. I mean, we say where we stand in the Premier League, but Norwich are in the bottom three as I've just taken them over. I've only gone 3 days in the future from when I actually took the club over, and since then I've been going through the squad more in depth, tactics, and also the youth setup as well, which I didn't really touch on too much in the last episode. In the final part of the Wycombe Wanderers part of Unemployed to Legend, we went through Norwich City after taking them over. If you want to see that a bit more in depth, I urge you to go back and watch that episode. It's episode 22 that will be. I'll have the thumbnail somewhere above my head as well as the link to the actual video itself. But currently we are sitting 18th in the league, 11 games gone. We are the last team along with Chelsea to be playing in this weekend, so somehow if we do win against Chelsea we will be going into 17th place and somehow out of the bottom three, but I'm not too hopeful. We are playing a Chelsea side who are top of the league. They're obviously going to be one of the best in Europe, and the familiarity is poor, I've just realised. So this could take a little bit of time, as we're still only in November, so we've got a good, 6 weeks until the January transfer window actually starts. So this is going to be the 11 that we're going to be sending out against Chelsea. We'll get to know some of these players more over time, but some of them will more than likely be going in January, especially those who don't perform for me in the next 6 weeks. So, in goal will be Baxter and not the goalkeeper I identified in the last episode, who was Freddie Woodman, because he picked up a gashed leg. And I wasn't too thrilled that he was our number one goalkeeper. I'm even less thrilled that we have to rely on our second goalkeeper, who is Nathan Baxter. Yeah, he's been at Norwich for a few years now, but just look at his career beforehand. He's basically just done the lower league rounds. Ironically, he's formerly of Chelsea. So maybe he has a point to prove. Who am I kidding? He's League One standards. I don't expect anything great out of him, unfortunately. Ben Davis, Carter Vickers, Omobamidele and Lazaro at the back. Omobamidele, who in real life is a Norwich City youth reserve player. Yeah, he's a bit of a beast in FM now, 5 years in the future. Physically, easily the best physical player I've had in this save so far. And I've had good history with physical centre-backs, certainly in Unemployed to Legend previously, and especially at Norwich. Who is it? I think Mavropanos I had, who was a previous beast player at the back. Hopefully Omobamidele will be of the same ilk. Pereira in defensive midfield. He's going to be playing as a half-back, so sort of very, very deep. Basically, he's going to be part of the back line. Is effectively what he's going to be. Even more defensive than a defensive midfielder. Never used a half-back before, so this is going to be interesting. Who is this guy? Callum Styles. Not going to lie, I've never heard of him. Ukrainian, apparently, as well. Very Ukrainian name, Callum Styles. Egerstein will also be alongside him in central midfield. Christian Solis and Borja Mayoral on the wings. And Eddie Nketiah up front. Nketiah apparently can play as an advanced forward more naturally. So we're going to give him that chance. Let's see if he can actually score some goals. Again, we're playing Chelsea. What's the chances we're going to be scoring goals against this defence? Alright, looks like we got ourselves a TV match here, and it's at Stamford Bridge are playing. Lukaku's still at Chelsea, so clearly he didn't have that one-way ticket back to Inter Milan, as we're looking very, very defensive. But can you blame us? We've lost 4 of the last 5. Or I should say they've lost 4 of the last 5. Obviously, this is the first game that I'm taking over here at Norwich. Let's see how this team matches up against, well, easily what is the best team in the Premier League at the moment, because Chelsea, of course, sitting top of the league. I actually don't know who's won the Premier League over the last few years. as they're already in here. Goodness, we're zoomed out quite a way actually, and that's the first chance that Chelsea have got in this game. More than likely not the last. This is a rare occasion. We've got the ball in the opening 12 minutes. Davies on the left-hand side. There is Christian Zolis. He's apparently the best player at Norwich. Styles. Eggestein. Oh my god, we took the lead. That's my deep line playmaker doing that. And Eggestein. I think we've got our long shot merchant in this team at the moment. Lovely build-up play though here. Ben Davies, I wasn't expecting too much from him. Maybe later on in the game. He's 33 years old. And actually, left back is one of the positions where we only have over 30-year-old players in that position. We do have another player who is on the bench who came from the youth setup. We'll probably see him later on in this video, if not in this match, because like I said, all my left backs are over 30 years old, so what's the chances their stamina is going to last? But very, very happy to have taken the lead. So it's very underwhelming that we went 1-0 up, and I'm not completely excited. I'm very aware that this is Chelsea that we're facing. It's not going to be easy to keep a lead against them, but it's a promising start, and the start has just come crashing down, although Lukaku might be offside here. The referee's got his finger in his ear. If this is offside, this would be very, very helpful. Yes, then it's disallowed, thank goodness. So the 1-goal lead is preserved, as I think Lukaku was just offside by a hair. I mean, his front foot is actually well offside anyway, so yes, he is off. I don't know why the line was flashing behind, but whatever. Still 1-0 going towards half-time. The good news is we've made it to half-time, 1-0 to the goods. Thankfully, not too much happening in that first half. We've had 1 shot and 1 goal. That was Eggestein. That's the only chance we've had, and that says the difference in class. That is Norwich versus Chelsea. And we've got a highlight from kickoff. This is either going to be good or this is either going to be bad. It's nothing in between. I'm sorry, what was that? Who's Danilo? I'm sorry, what? Danilo? Who? Oh god, we just lost the ball in defence while I'm trying to figure out who Danilo is. Lukaku over to Werner. Lukaku's just a thorn in our side, and it's well saved. It's just blocked all over the place. So we're putting bodies on the line and Chilwell just blazes over. That is a warning for us not to go messing around in our own defence. Although it's worth noting I've got Aubameyang on a ball-playing defender role, so yeah, I'm playing a ball-playing defender against Chelsea. That's probably not the smartest idea in the world. Chelsea just playing it out from the back here, trying to get the press on, but it's worth noting, I did go over this in the last video, we've got a lot of players who are in their 30s. They might get tired towards the end of this game. That's a problem. Oh god, I thought that was a penalty, the way everything just stopped there, but thankfully it just continues, and just over there as Aubameyang hopefully just put, I think, Lukaku off there. He's 6'3", so he's got more than enough height to be putting strikers off. Oh god, the game just lags there. That was not my recording, as we're just losing the ball over the place, and I think Nketiah is offside anyway. Oh no, he wasn't. It just went out for a goal kick, so he was on. And my advanced forward not exactly getting his shot on target. That's not very promising for him, as we have hit the hour mark, and I'm just thinking of changes that we could be making. And I'm thinking defensive changes at this point. It'd be interesting to see, how is Pereira doing as my half-back? I think he's... Well, actually, you'd just be able to see him. He's doing okay for the moment. Like I said, I've never played a half-back before. Can we just stop messing around with the ball near the... What is wrong with this team? Oh my goodness, that was our own making. We did not need to be messing around with the ball there. And I can kind of see why Norwich are in the position that they're in. They're doing stupidity just like that. That was terrible. Have we got playing out of defence? Yes, we have. I'm going to take that off. I am going to take that off because I'm not convinced by our ability to play out from the back. Except maybe Aubameyang, because that's one of his traits and he has the technical ability. But it's just stupid that we are just giving away stupidity like that. And that's a little bit better. Just clear the ball away a little bit, as we are going to make some changes There's a few tired legs out there now. And what we are going to do, Ben Davies is going to come off for this guy, Marco Olivares, the man who was in our under-23s, a 20-year-old Chilean international. I don't know why he was down there. Norwich bought him for £1.6 million about 18 months previously. He has not played a single game for the club, not even cup games. I mean, he's a championship standard, but just look at him. Are you telling me he's not going to get much better? So we're going to give him his chance here today. We're going to give him his chance. This will be his full debut for the club at left back. Let's have a look. Who else is tired? Christian Zolis is also very tired. Tell you what, Todd Cantwell, I know he can play out on that left-hand side. He'll be absolutely fine. Yeah, inside forward, he'll be fine. Todd Cantwell, who wants to move on. He wants to have a new challenge at another club, as that's not a great pass by Olivares. I call it first game nerves. I call it debut nerves for his new club, even though he's been there for 18 months. He hasn't been on loan or anything, he just hasn't played. As Lukaku has another shot. So tell you what we're going to do. We are going to drop the line just a little bit. We're going to take it down to standards. Had a bit of success with that at Wickham. Let's just see if it works here again, as we are just going to shout a bit of encouragement. And I know we've got one more sub, I think, to make. We'll just see who is actually tired. Carter Vick. Oh my goodness. Mobamido saving us there. But I am getting so frustrated with this team. They can't play out from the back. Last substitution. Mobamido is knackered, but we need him because he's pretty much having a good game. He's the only one I could probably trust on the ball. I don't know. Borja, he is tired. So I tell you what, Timothy Way, the American international, Timothy Way is going to come on. Let's have a look. He's got the acceleration. He can play as inverted winger and advanced forward. Inside forward. Yeah, I'll tell you what, we'll go with the inverted winger option. Let's go for something a little bit different going forward. Let's just see if we can either sneak a winner or basically hold on, whichever one at this point. We are going to look. Well, the tempo's already low. I didn't even notice that. The tempo was already low. And yet we're doing stupidity like that. I didn't have counter on. Yikes. Okay, but distribute to the fullbacks. I don't trust Carter Vickers at all. But it looks like we are going to hold out. Wow. Impressive. Except for the fact we gave away that goal. Stop doing stupidity like that and we'll be fine. Stop giving away the ball in our own third and we will be absolutely fine this season. I can see this team surviving. I hope that's not just a case of first day, impress the boss, and then just do what they've been doing for the rest of the season. That cannot be the case. Yeah, we're still in the bottom three, but we're a point closer to Aston Villa. Now let's go and see how we do against a team who is a little bit closer to us in terms of the league table, Leicester City. Second match now against Leicester. It's our first home game here since taking over at Norwich. Same team as what we went into the Chelsea game with. I mean, you come away from Stamford Bridge with a 1-1 result. Why would you really change anything up at the moment? Although the one thing I did change was we are not playing out of defence going forwards. Mainly because I don't want to be giving myself a heart attack when we do lose the ball in our in our own third, not the final third, in our own third. That's pretty much the reason I'm still convinced that we only drew that game. Not the fact that Chelsea missed a boatload of chances. No, absolutely not. That we gave it away. Right, just motivating, inspiring the players here. Oh, some of them even less motivated. But regardless, hopefully they'll put in a good performance here against Leicester. Leicester are mid-table at the moment, so hopefully this is against a team who are a bit closer to us in terms of ability. I did forget to mention, Baxter is still in goal for us. Freddie Woodman, he is almost back from injury. I think he's got another day or so to come back, but I don't particularly want to risk him, and I'm still not happy with the fact that he's our #1 keeper. I mean, he could surprise me. It's very unlikely. What is surprising that two of our players just clattered into each other. It's laughable if we weren't in the bottom three. And Leicester are through here, and that is terrible. That, again, was of our own making. Just two of our players just bumped into each other while we had the ball. It'd been bad enough had we not had the ball, but we had the ball, so they're just getting in each other's way. And that's an assist from Van der Beek, who I did point out in the pre-match squad screen. That's probably not the wisest idea because the game probably heard me and has punished me for it. We are now 1-0 down. I think we do have to go positive a bit. The fans will be demanding that of us at Carrow Road at the very least. We've had a couple of chances, absolutely nothing on target. It's not quite as clinical as against Chelsea. Nketiah playing very, very deep, and our entire line is looking very, very deep right now, and there's nobody on the right-hand side of our defence. Tsimikas getting the ball in, and that has gone wide. Warning signs from Leicester here as we are approaching half-time. We've done absolutely nothing except create misery for ourselves. And indeed it is half-time. We are 1-0 down. Just a poor performance overall. I want a much better display in the second half. What could we do differently? I think we're going to have to try someone different anyway. Eggestein, what can he play as? Can he play as a central midfielder maybe? Box to box? He can play as either. Tell you what we are going to do. We're going to bring Bruno Costa on. I could end up regretting this. I'll tell you what we are going to do. Solis is going to go on the right hand side. He is going to go as a inverted winger. Yeah, inverted winger. He'll go as inverted winger. Costa is going to go as the inside forward. Bruno Costa, that is, on the left hand side. He can play anywhere in that, basically anywhere in midfield or attacking midfield he can play. 29-year-old Portuguese, not international, because there's been a lot of good Portuguese internationals, I'm assuming. Hasn't played massively well this season, but we need to get some use out of him. We are going to go to an old 4-2-4 and just see if that makes an absolute difference. Mayoral, apparently he can play as a deep line forward. Yeah, because Nketiah can't really play as a deep line forward. He's definitely not a poacher. Although you never know, it might surprise me. Eggestein is going to be the central midfielder. Styles is going to be... Can he be a ball-winning midfielder? He can. I don't know how well this is going to go, but we've got to try something. So this is what we're going to do. We're going to go 4-2-4 in the second half and just see if this works. Two up front. I've had a bit more success with this in FM22. Here's hoping we can see a bit more of that in this match. As Nketiah, I'm less convinced by him as a forward. Maybe we sell him on in January. Unless he somehow comes good for me in the next 5-6 weeks. I've just noticed Carrow Road is so empty. This is crazy. Crazy how empty it is. Oh my god. Yeah, I need a new goalkeeper as well. Oh dear, oh dear. This is a big job that we've taken on here. I mean, Leicester did well to play the ball forward here. Again, Van der Beek with the assist, but what was Baxter doing? I mean, poor ability or not, you should be saving that. You fling your arms up in the air if you wish. You were completely at fault for that. We have ourselves a free kick just on the edge of the area. Valentino, I don't know how good he is at free kicks. Lazaro is very good at free kicks. We got our free kick specialist, and he's our right back. He's just walking towards the ball. We're 2-1 down, you idiot. I know we've got over half an hour, but we need to try and find ourselves an equaliser. Not completely dead and buried, which is good to see. As we need to now try and push for that equaliser. We are on positive on the 4-2-4, which means our midfield is kind of going to get swamped a little bit. This is kind of where I need my defence to step up. Throw into Leicester here. And put the ball in, and it has been cleared. And there is Nketiah, who has won the ball, and he is almost through here. He hasn't quite got the pace, but he's got some support now. Oh my god, he had support, and he couldn't find a single one of them. Right, Olivares is going to come on for Ben Davis, if it would just let me make the change. And what about Ivan Toney? Ivan Toney as a target forward? I mean, I've heard worse ideas. Play the ball into the big man. Why not? Let's not work the ball into the box. Let us distribute to the target man. And let's just see if that will get any results. As you know what, we need to shout some encouragement, even if we do score somehow. It's only going to be 2-2. No, it's Nketiah. He is through here. Can he score? No, he can't. But Solis is there. But oh, it's been blocked. Leicester's defence holds firm, and unfortunately, we don't get the ball. But we do have Eggestein, and I think Nketiah is offside. Yeah, he was offside. He hit the post though, but he was just way offside. His positioning is awful. His shots are awful. He's not very convincing, is he, as an advanced forward? As we hit the final few minutes here. And have we got lower? We got lower tempo for some reason. I'm going to have to bring that back up to standards for future matches. Now it's going to be our first defeat. It was an improved second half. I'm leaning more towards the 4-2-4 in that case, certainly against mid-table teams. But otherwise, yeah, I don't particularly like what I saw. Lazaro is understandably upset. He was probably the one player who was actually good in that game. And so we find ourselves entrenched in the bottom three. 1 point from these two games, but I think we knew this was going to be a tough job that we've taken on here at Norwich City. We are going to be back some point in January for the next episode, because obviously January transfer window. I'm looking to get several players out and hopefully get several players in, especially with a nice little war chest of £32.3 million. If we get rid of some players, of course, that will go up. I'm just hoping we can get some younger, hungrier players who will come in and help us avoid relegation. If you have enjoyed this first episode of a new era at Norwich City, make sure you hit the like button down below and smash the big red subscribe button so you don't miss future Unemployed to Legend episodes. Thank you so much for watching. Thank you for your support so far on the series as a whole, and I look forward to seeing you all in the next episode.